I'm Alison Manning. I'm running a coaching project for women in East London.
As many of you will know, I'm a feminist from the 70s, so I've always had an interest in women. So, in women and women's issues and women's development. 2 or 3 years ago, I discovered coaching, and I thought this would be a really cool way for women to be able to access more their own sense of potential, maybe make some changes in their lives, do something different, something that would be coming from a place of depth and increasing one's sense of potential and possibility. But I was also aware that, I don't know if you know, but the coaching world is absolutely insane. They charge unbelievable amounts of money. So when we as the Emergence Foundation started to think about we could offer grants, I thought, okay, this is my opportunity to maybe get some money to offer a project where I could give coaching to women from all stratas of society. So that was kind of like my kind of idea about it. So I'm going to go through. This is kind of, so I got the grant in whenever it was. I was in the pilot. I got the grant. So since then, so I started my first workshop. I thought I was going to do 3-day tasters and then 3 courses. So far, I've done 6 days workshops, which are 6 hours per workshop. 59 women have attended those workshops. I've run 2 courses, and I'm just started this last Thursday the 3rd course, which is a 6-week course. So they have to come to the day workshop, then they can come to the course. And then 31 have attended those courses so far. Most of them were over 40. You can see quite a large proportion over 40, but I've had some women in their 20s and 30s, and I've had 2 that were over 75. Interestingly enough, I'm basically based in northeast London, so I've had 28% from minority ethnic groups. So that's been really, I did a workshop last Sunday, 10 women, 8 were women of colour. So that was partly what I wanted to sort of get in my area. There's a lot, obviously it's a very diverse area, northeast London, so that's been very satisfying that I've got a variety of diverse people coming. This was, as Tim very politely pointed out this morning, it's 20k, not £20 an annum. But as many of you will know, this is a household income. This is not their personal income. This is a household income. So 19 of those 59 are living on less than 20k a year. And a lot were retired, or interestingly enough, a lot of women in their 50s who'd been made redundant. It's like, okay, what am I going to do? How am I gonna survive in this economy? So that was kind of like the overview, just to give you a bit of context. So this I think is a beautiful quote, and that is something that I feel has happened with the women coming. Often they don't know each other, they're sitting in the room, and what happens is an incredible sense of intimacy, transparency, a lot of trust gets generated quite quickly. And they're incredibly vulnerable. But the amazing thing is I didn't really think about this when I started the project. I thought, I'm going to be offering coaching, sort of empowering women. But what's actually happened is all I'm doing is facilitating people being able to come together. And they're actually learning so much from each other, which is so powerful, because they're, like the first woman says I got made redundant, then the second woman says I got made redundant, then the third woman says I got made redundant, and I don't really know what to do, where to go. And they're getting, that supports them each other. I'm not alone in my issue. And that is what I feel has been fabulous about so many of the issues that have come up in the different workshops, is that we are not alone. They get strength from each other. So I think that is the thing that I've been most kind of inspired by, because in the courses I offer them individual sessions of coaching as well as the group sessions, and that's a beautiful mix of going in deeper in themselves individually and then sharing in a group. So confidence was one of the things that I was interested about, and I think the first comment, the 11 out of the 17, that was 17 that had done the courses up until this last Thursday, which makes it up to 31. I didn't ask them about that. They mentioned confidence themselves. And that was a couple of quotes. One of the things that I wanted to see was, are they doing anything different? These are some of the things that they're doing. You can see there's quite a range. I'm moving quite quickly here, but so improves quality of life. This is obviously a harder thing to measure. But the list, I put the list is huge. It was like massive. There's about half of the things I added again. You know, that people were sharing what it had made a difference for them. So this is some of the quotes. At the end of both courses, they've given me a card and a bunch of flowers to say thank you so much. This has really changed my life. And I've been like, oh my God, you know, this is amazing. So this is now there's some of the group shots. This is one from one particular workshop. But I wanted to share a couple of case studies, because I thought it would make it more real for you. I had one woman that came along, and in an individual chat with her, I found out that she'd had 3 psychiatric admissions. Now, I said to her, look, I'm not a therapist. I don't have the skill in dealing with therapy. And I said, is this really the right thing for you? She said, look, I really want to do it. I really want to make some change in my life. So I said, okay, fabulous. Come along. So she came along to the course. She said it was the first time in over 20 years. The woman has been on benefits for over 20 years, not being able to work. This was the first time that she'd been able to be in a group where she hadn't been defined by her mental illness. She'd never said she didn't say in the group, I've got a history of mental health. Nobody actually said anything, because it was the issue. They were all sharing issues about confidence, about how to set boundaries, how to say no to things, how to access a different part of themselves, more possibility. That was all what they were focusing on. It wasn't whether somebody had a job, they didn't have a job, whether they were long-term sick, whether they just got retired. That wasn't the issue. That wasn't what we were focusing on. It was what was the things in common between them. So it was whether the woman who'd got a job and a husband and a house and the kids and seemingly having everything, she was sharing just the same issues as the woman who was unemployed, living on less than 20k a year. A lot of the women were living on up to 10k a year, actually. They were sharing the same issues, and that I found was incredible, and what I didn't expect when I set up the project. I thought I was going to be dealing with women mostly from the lower socioeconomic groups, but actually there's been more of a variety, and the beauty of that is that how often do people who are unemployed, retired, working, single mums, carers come together as a group? It's not that often. So this has it's like a melting pot, you know, that they can share they learn from each other, they share from each other, and it's not, the only commonality is that they're women that are interested in change. It's not their label. And that's been something that, you know, I've learned a lot from, and it's been very exciting. So, another story. It'll go through another woman came saying, I want to find out that my career. I want to get clear about what my career is. And she came in, she did the course. About halfway through the course, she said, this is not about me finding out what my career is. This is about me having my own sense of meaning and purpose, my own sense of what's my work-life balance. And she said, out of that, my career change will happen.